Hello my dear friends, today I am going to talk about preterm premature rupture of membranes between 24 to 36 weeks of gestation. This condition is seen in 3% of pregnancies and this accounts for 30 to 40% of cases of preterm labor. Preterm premature rupture of membranes is responsible for serious neonatal morbidity and mortality, mainly because of prematurity, sepsis, cord prolapse, lung hypoplasia. It can also lead to placental abruption and chorioamnionitis. How do we diagnose preterm premature rupture of membranes, that is pre-prom? It is diagnosed by the maternal history of watery discharge per vaginum. If she comes with such history, we have to do a sterile speculum examination, and in the posterior fornix there is vaginal pooling noted of the liquor. So if this pooling is seen, then there is no need of any additional test and the diagnosis is confirmed. But if there is no pooling of the vaginal fluid, then we have to do the biochemical markers, that is PAMG, that is placental microglobulin 1, and the insulin light growth factor test. If these tests are positive, then the diagnosis of pre-prom is there. If it is negative, then we can reassure and send her back home. The third is the ultrasound, but the ultrasound for the diagnosis of preterm premature rupture of membranes, its utility is uncertain. How do we assess these women? We have to take a detailed history about her complaints, the duration, the color of the discharge, any fever, tachycardia, is she feeling well or unwell, abdominal pain, urinary tract infection. Along with this, we have to do the maternal blood test in the form of WBC count and the CRP, and for the fetal well-being we have to do the cardiotocography. So these three things, that is the history, the blood test plus the fetal CTG, these are to be taken into account in combination, and not a single factor should be used for the diagnosis and the management. After assessment, we have to involve the neonatologist in the care of the woman, and we should make the woman have a conversation with the neonatologist about the further baby care and availability of the NICU beds. We have to offer her emotional support in the pregnancy as well as in the postnatal period. Now, how we are going to manage this case? Number one is the antibiotic therapy. The antibiotic of choice is erythromycin, which is given as an oral tablet, 250 milligrams 4 times a day for 10 days or till she has active labor, whichever is sooner. This helps to reduce the neonatal morbidity, infection, surfactant requirement, oxygen requirement in the baby. If she is not able to tolerate erythromycin, then we have to give penicillin. Co-amoxiclav should not be used in the management because it is associated with increased risk of necrotizing enterocolitis. The second is tocolysis. Tocolysis is not to be used in the management of pre-prom because there is increased risk of infection. Routine amnio infusion is not recommended to prevent pulmonary hypoplasia or some skeletal deformity. It is not recommended in the management of pre-prom. Third treatment is the magnesium sulfate. Magnesium sulfate is to be given between 24 to 29 plus 6 weeks of gestation. It can be considered between 30 to 33 plus 6 weeks of gestation. It is given as 5 grams intravenously over 15 minutes slowly. This is followed by 1 gram per hour for 24 hours or till she gets active labor. We have to monitor her respiratory rate, deep tendon reflexes and urine output. It helps to improve the motor neuron function and reduces the risk of cerebral palsy. The most important is the corticosteroids. These are given as in the form of betamethasone or dexamethasone. Betamethasone is given as 12 milligrams intramuscularly, 2 doses 24 hours apart, or dexamethasone 6 milligrams 6 hourly for 4 doses. They help to reduce the neonatal morbidity, mortality, reduces respiratory distress syndrome in 44% of cases, intraventricular hemorrhage in 46% cases, and necrotizing enterocolitis and mortality in 31% of cases. So this is all about the management of preterm premature rupture of membranes. We can manage her at home or we can hospitalize her, but for home management we have to tell all the warning signs and symptoms, and we have to tell if at all she has fever, some abnormal discharge, reduced fetal movement, she has to call the emergency numbers immediately, and we have to take into account the gestational age as well. So if she is less than 26 weeks, if she has oligohydramnios, or if she has non-cephalic presentation, then we have to admit her and we should not let her do the home management. When to deliver such patients? If she has preterm premature rupture of membranes but there are no uterine contractions and there are no clinical signs for early delivery, and there is no emergency for delivery, then we can wait and do the expectant management till 34 weeks of gestation, even 37 weeks of gestation. The delivery is by vaginal route, and there is cesarean is done only for obstetric indications, but if there is a preterm or established labor with PPROM and in a breech presentation, then we have to go for a cesarean section, and there are chances that we have to deliver by vertical incision, that is a classical cesarean section. This is all about the management of PPROM. So if you like the content of the channel, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you.